All right, our next guest is such a big deal that yesterday he had to put out a public service announcement ahead of the MLB trade deadline to not believe anyone who says he said something on the radio or anywhere else, because this almost got me yesterday. I almost reported this live on the show, a Juan Soto fake potential trade to the Yankees. So please help me welcome ESPN's Jeff Passan to Tim and Friends once again. And Jeff, I got to ask you, with the trade deadline next Tuesday, how are you dealing with this? Because it's hard for us. I can imagine what it's like for you.
Okay, so let's have like a little media literacy 101 here. Sources have confirmed to me is something that I have never said in my life. And also, would I say to be Gleyber Torres? We gotta show the other one. We gotta show the fake one. Whoever it was. And also, I think that person, he's literally called @Trollian Prince.
Yeah, I was so excited to say it, though. I know it's pathetic.
Jesse,
it's such a bad look.
doing?
It's such a bad look. But I saw Jeff Pass. I just get so excited. It's such an easy troll because you see Jeff Passan's name on the timeline attributed to something like this, and you're like, oh my goodness, like something serious is going down, and you just don't even think that Trollian Prince might be doing exactly what he says. So it's just ridiculous, man. Like, so I'm assuming this is the busiest time for you of the year, I would assume, and that you are dealing with nonstop information coming through. Like, what's going on in your end?
I'm living life. I am still alive. My heart is still beating. I'm still breathing as far as I can tell. And I'm on in Canada, so how can I be any better?
Okay, so you're on in Canada, so I guess the next question naturally is everybody wants Juan Soto here. And we just saw a recent tweet from Hector Gomez saying that talks are intensifying with the San Diego Padres.
Be media literate, Jesse. If I don't report it, don't report it on this show.
Exactly.
That's your rule. So, like, that's it. Hey, if it's not me or Ken Rosenthal, don't say it. Don't.
So what's the latest with Juan Soto then? That's the first question.
Well, listen, the Padres are in the mix here. There's no question about it. They want Juan Soto. They should want Juan Soto. Everyone should want Juan Soto because he's one of the best hitters in baseball. But the idea that the Padres have separated themselves at this point, I just have no evidence to support that. Listen, maybe it's true. It's a possibility. But everyone with whom I've spoken believes this is going to be much more of an August 1st, August 2nd deal than right now. Unless the Padres have gotten scared off by another team, the St. Louis Cardinals, the Los Angeles Dodgers, I think, are a real threat here. The idea that they're going to jump at what has been an exorbitant asking price by the Washington Nationals this early in the process just doesn't hold a lot of water.
Okay, trade that has happened already. Andrew Benintendi to the Yankees last night. Were you underwhelmed with the return, and does this actually set the market a little bit ahead of what's going to happen Monday, Tuesday?
Yeah, I think context is important here because the Kansas City Royals have drafted a lot of starting pitchers and frankly just haven't been able to develop a particularly good one out of it. When you're trying to develop good major league starting pitching, sometimes you got to work from an area of volume. And that's what they chose to do here rather than go for a carrying piece in the deal. They got three guys, none of whom project to really be a star, but all of whom could be big league pitchers. I think the expectation among some in the industry was that they were just going to go for one big name, but in the end, I just don't think there were enough bites at that. And when you look at organizational depth, that's one thing at which the New York Yankees really excel. They have a lot of good prospects in that organization. The top end guy in Anthony Volpe, Oswald Peraza, Jason Dominguez, Volpe especially, really good. But it's not always the 1 through 5 that gets you the guy. It's sometimes the 15 through 30. And that's how the Yankees ended up with Andrew Benintendi.
I'm a little bit concerned that the Yankees aren't done because Luis Castillo is out there, and I know Blue Jays fans have their eye on a number of the big names that are out there on the trade deadline market. But if the Yankees come calling and they have a deep farm system as well, so should I be concerned that the Yankees are going super all in here?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you should be concerned that the Yankees are like double-digit games up on the Jays. That, to me, is more of a concern.
It's getting smaller, Jeff. It's getting smaller.
There's a chance.
Look, the Jays have been playing great this season. I mean, there's nothing that you can take away from them what they've been lately. And those odds, frankly, I think are kind of light. Like, I think the Blue Jays should be more like plus 1,200 as opposed to even with Milwaukee at this point. When I look at the teams in Major League Baseball, I feel like there are 7 of them that have separated themselves. And the 7th is the Blue Jays. The first 6 clearly seem to be, at least by the odds makers' view, in a different class. I don't think so, though. I especially if Jacob deGrom does not come back at full strength, I can see the Blue Jays right up there with the Mets. And the Mets have had a fantastic season to this point, and they are a potentially very good ball club. But I think the Jays right now have enough to win a World Series, but if they go out and get reinforcements, they'll be in an even better position.
Well, you've given winners on the show before, so let me just log into my betting account here since 18-1 is a really good number.
Hurry, get on that. Okay, so what do the Blue Jays need, Jeff, to make it from 7th to 6th, the first? We need to know what the trade deadline should involve with the Blue Jays. Like, what's your number one thing that they need?
I think they need arms, but particularly relief arms. And the problem with this is that there just aren't a whole lot out there, right? Like, you can go out and get some relief pitchers, but who's the best there is right now? Gregory Soto is going to cost a lot because he's got 3 years of club control. Scott Barlow definitely can be had. David Bednar, don't think he's moving. Daniel Bard, question mark. I think most people see David Robertson as the best gettable reliever right now. And David Robertson's been phenomenal this year, don't get me wrong, but in the end, he's what, a 7th, 8th inning guy for the Blue Jays. And I think it's important to know Jimmy Garcia and Adam Simber and Jordan Romano have been very good this year. Mm-hmm. But when you have bullpens that go 3 or 4 guys deep, you're not going to have an easy time getting through an entire month in October. And it looks like the Blue Jays are going to be playing in the wild card series. And so they have 4 series to go out there. And you're just going to, by the time the LCS runs around, if you make it there, Jordan Romano and Simber and Garcia are just going to be worn down. And if the Jays had more starting pitching depth, guys, I could see one of those pitchers transitioning into a higher leverage bullpen role. Yeah. But that's one thing, as the season's gone on, they just don't have that starting pitching depth that I think 3.5 months ago we believed that they were going to. And that's been one of the more disappointing parts of the season for them.
Yeah, I feel like they got a little bit exposed last night in the game against the Cardinals when they brought in Trevor Richards, obviously, with 2-on-2 out against Albert Pujols. And he hits a home run, becoming the oldest player to ever hit a home run in Toronto. But it just feels like if they were able to use a higher leverage arm in that spot, that would have been really beneficial for them. But they weren't able to do that. And now it just seems like it's a screaming need for the Toronto Blue Jays as you go towards Tuesday.
Yeah, and by the way, there are lessons that John Schneider's going to learn along the way as manager. And it's unfortunate that he has to learn on the fly as a big league manager the way he is. But let's also remember Albert Pujols, like you said, is 42 years old. Trevor Richards throws a really nasty right-on-right changeup, and it's the kind of thing that Albert Pujols will swing at and will swing over. And he just made a bad pitch there, and Pujols did damage, which he's capable of. So I can't look at that one instance as being defining of what's wrong with the Jays necessarily. It's that instance plus a number of others when it happens that you look back and say A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, okay, there's an issue.
So you started this conversation off by saying Juan Soto is likely out of the question for the Toronto Blue Jays. So why don't we go in an equally wishful thinking area here? So Mike Trout is out indefinitely with a rare back condition. The Angels were awful previously. They will continue to be awful without Mike Trout. But Shohei Ohtani's name has come up here and there in trade speculation. Is there any way, shape, or form that the Angels will move Ohtani because Trout is now hurt? None. That's it.
Aw, boo.
I don't blame them, right? Like why would you?
Blanket, I get it.
But I understand, because why would you, right? Like, at some point, next year if they're bad again.
Okay, so there's a reasonable argument to move Ohtani, and that argument is the Angels have a disastrous farm system right now. I think Kylie McDaniel, our farm system expert, has them either 29th or 30th at this point. Like, it's a bad system. And when you have a bad system and 2 contracts in Trout and Anthony Rendon that are going to cost almost $75 million a year, more than 75 actually, for the foreseeable future, and you have an owner in Artie Moreno who's never even come close to the luxury tax threshold, then you need volume if you're not going to go and spend. And, well, they're not going to get volume in the draft every year. That's just not how the draft works. So how can you do it?
Right.
Trade the most talented player any of us have ever seen.
I got one more for you. If it's not going to be Soto, it's not going to be Ohtani. Who is going to be a Toronto Blue Jay this time next week?
Oh, I mean, I'm sorry to make that face. I just, here's the thing. As much as I try to know things, I don't know where the Blue Jays are in terms of how aggressive they're willing to be right now, because this should be their calculus, that the Yankees have been all season long a better team, that the Astros have been all season long a better team, and that when it comes down to it, are you really going to go all in this year in order to potentially have 2 better teams ahead of you in the playoffs? I know you can't always save your cracks at something for when you're at the top, but the notion of the Blue Jays being at the top in future years, it's not far-fetched. It's very reasonable to think, if you have Vladdy around, if you have Bo around, if you have Manoah around, if you have Springer around, if you have Teoscar around, that in future years, they may be able to be what the Yankees are and what the Astros are this year. So could I see them going out and getting a Castillo or a Montas? Possibly. I think Ian Happ is probably a more reasonable target to look for. And listen, it makes a lot of sense to go out and get Ian Happ, David Robertson, and Michael Givens. It's just going to cost you a lot to do so.
Well, I know it's a busy time for you, so thank you very much for doing this. And I guess stay away from the trolls is how we'll leave the conversation. And I will too. I'm not going to report anything that I just randomly see on Twitter that Jeff Passan has to say on the radio station.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Media literacy, people. Follow Jeff. No, don't follow Jeff.
I'll get to it.
He's terrible at it. He's terrible.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you.